There is nothing easier to make than this Irish beer bread. It requires only 4 ingredients. There is no kneading, 1 hour baking time, and it all comes together in one bowl. To make this recipe, you need only 4 ingredients. You'll need 2½ cups of self-rising flour, 1 12-ounce room temperature bottle of Guinness beer, 1/4 cup of sugar, and 1/4 cup of melted butter. And if you don't have self-rising flour, then you just need to add 1 tablespoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt to your 2½ cups of flour and mix it well. Your first step is to preheat your oven to 350 degrees and then grease your loaf pan and set it aside. This all comes together in one bowl, so into your 2½ cups of self-rising flour, add your 1/4 cup of sugar and mix well. And if you've added baking powder and salt to your mixture, make sure that you've got everything well combined and blended. Once it's well combined and blended, add your 12-ounce bottle of Guinness beer, and because Guinness beer is dark brown, your bread will have a little bit of a brown tinge to it. After you've added your beer, you want it just to rest on top of the flour for just about 30 seconds to a minute, and then using a wooden spoon, you want to start bringing it all together. And this will come together in a very sticky dough. And once your dough is completely together, you just want to transfer it into your prepared loaf pan. This will then go into the oven for 350 degrees for 45 minutes, at which time I'll take the bread out and pour the melted butter over the top, and then return it to the oven for another additional 15 minutes of baking time. And that is all there is to making this Irish beer bread. Our bread has been in the oven for 45 minutes, and now I'm just taking it out of the oven and pouring our 1/4 cup of melted butter over the top, and then I'll return this back to the oven and continue baking for an additional 15 minutes for a total baking time of 1 hour. Could there be anything easier than this Irish beer bread? A perfect bread anytime, but especially festive for St. Patrick's Day, when we all enjoy the foods of Ireland. Spread a warm slice with some Irish butter, and I know this will become a popular bread in your home and maybe even a family favorite.